Good evening, everyone out there. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be with us this evening at Pure. Appreciate you taking this time out. We're climbing in numbers as we speak, so I know people will be jumping on over the next several minutes, but really excited this week because as you know, in January, we kicked off our Pure Connect calls. These are monthly calls. They're on the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Central. We'll be doing these every month. And every month we'll be doing training on various aspects of Pure. So really excited about these calls. This is our second month and we're continuing to climb in the number of people out there that are jumping on. So this is great. And what really excites me tonight, guys, is I have a really cool group to share with you. These are some gentlemen that don't actually get as much chance to talk in front of a group. They haven't been at any of the Monday night meetings and they really don't get a chance to share what they do with Pure. But tonight, they really are going to be able to open up on some really cool tools that you have at your fingertips at Pure. So tonight, we're going to hear from Blaine. He is a marketing manager. He oversees all of our social media. And then you're also going to hear from Preston Ridley. He is our director of software development. And he oversees all things regarding our software, our VBO, back office. But he also oversees Live Pure Pro. And tonight we're going to be talking about Live Pure Pro. So hopefully you've got questions because this is an interactive session. You will get a chance to ask your questions. But at this point, what I'd like to do is introduce Preston and Blaine to the call so that they can sort of take over the call and walk us through Live Pure Pro.
Hey, Tony, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Preston, are you here as well? I think he's muted. Well, while Preston, oh, there we go. Still can't hear you, Preston. While Preston figures that out, I'd like to thank you, Tony, for the introduction. Tonight, we're going to talk about Live Pure Pro, and Live Pure Pro has some incredible tools built into it that are, like Tony said, available at your fingertips. But tonight, I really want to focus in on a few aspects of Live Pure Pro that I think are under talked about or not talked about at all. And I really want to focus on Live Pure Pro as a communication tool and a marketing communication or marketing automation suite. And I think later on, Preston can talk more or speak more into what that means from a technical standpoint. But I really want to focus on 5 main objectives tonight. We want to go over the contact manager first and foremost, which is a really robust component, and I think one of the best parts about Live Pure Pro. I want to move on to the email marketing components and how we can utilize one-touch emails or smart emails to understand who's opened our emails. There's a lot of value in understanding at what point a potential prospect is either have they opened the email, have they engaged in our content, or where are they at so that we can at least help them get to where we want them to be, and do they need perhaps some help with that? I want to talk about social marketing. Live Pure Pro has some great social marketing components that are built into it. All of the aspects and resources that we provide on Live Pure Pro are all what I would consider smart link enabled, which essentially means you can just click share on Facebook, share on LinkedIn, share on Twitter. If there's a specific type of environment that you prefer or a specific type of social channel that you work with, Live Pure Pro has all the ability to handle any type of social sharing. And we'll go into that in a little bit here. And then fourthly, the lead activity tracking. I just briefly touched on that. Essentially, being able to understand where your prospect is along the timeline. Have they opened your email? Have they engaged with particular content that you're sharing? There's a lot of value in that, and we'll talk about that as well. And lastly, I'd like to finish off with the video marketing. So video marketing, and I think Preston will shed a lot of light on this. The video marketing component of Live Pure Pro is extremely powerful, and we'll talk about how so and how you can utilize that to create ongoing campaigns, video campaigns to help educate prospects, and it can become almost a lead generation component in terms of your video education can become a selling tool that you can just run on a regular basis. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and we'll get on into Live Pure Pro. Can you guys see everything?
Looks great.
Awesome. Let's sign in real quick. So I'm going to assume that most people have at least used LivePure Pro to a degree, because we're going to focus on 5 main things. We're going to go ahead and jump in those 5 things, and later on we can go back and maybe answer any questions if you have particulars on certain areas. Something to note too, just briefly, we have a lot of resources on the VBO and the MBO, and we also have resources on our YouTube channel. If you don't know how to use LivePure Pro at all, there's a ton of educational resources that we've developed over the course of the last few months to help walk you through certain things. So please feel free to check that out. It's at LivePure Global TV on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get started with Contact Manager. So up here in our contacts, let's go ahead and go there. I've set up a pre-designed template using my name, but on the left over here, you'll see a few things. You'll see various folders. These folders can be edited based on your preference or the language that you want to use, and they can funnel certain types of people. So like, let's say you have someone that is a lead, you know that there's a good chance you could take them to become either a member, an IBO, someone in your downline. You can delineate that here on the left. So let's go ahead and jump in to what that looks like. You'll see right here I have my name with some sample information. At first, it doesn't look like there's a lot of content, but this is really, I think, one of the most powerful parts of LivePure Pro. So if we jump into my name here, and we're presented with just basic overview content of who this user would be. My name, my phone number, my email, things like that. But what really is powerful, and what I'll show you here in a second, is we can look at activities, things I've engaged with on this particular sample over the last few months. So let's go to the very bottom here. And let's say that this particular individual in my contact list, I sent them a one-touch email. What that means is I sent them an email that corporate has pre-designed to help you sell, to help you be better, do better. And you only have to just put who you want the email to go to, and it's as simple as that, hit send. So we have some pre-designed emails that are product related, that are opportunity related, that you can then send to potential prospects. What you've noticed is it keeps tabs of what I've done with this email. It says I've opened the email, and I've opened it twice. And it tells you all along the way what I've done. If I've looked at campaign messages, if I've opened other emails, I've visited the website. So the powerful component about this aspect is you can do this for every contact in your entire contact manager list. So maybe you have someone that you're not sure where they're at, if you want to take them to the next level, or if they're kind of on the fence about things, you want to know what they're doing, you want to know how they're engaging with your materials. You can follow up with them with an email saying, hey, notice you looked at my email. You have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, something like that. So the powerful part about this is that you can really understand where that potential prospect is in the timeline, and hopefully guide them to the next part, whether it's becoming someone in your downline or just having someone educate them on a certain product so that maybe they can benefit from our products in general. So, there's a lot of different opportunities there, but you can do this for each individual. So the other cool thing I guess we can get into maybe in a little bit is there's these 3 other tabs, which they're more for team development. So if you're someone who is a leader or a team leader in LivePure Pro, you can utilize task orientation, where you can actually send out task directives to part of your team members in order to have them assist or grow the group as a whole. Campaign is essentially what a campaign is you just have people that you're sending out leads to, or you're sending out specific marketing content, and it's a drip campaign. So over the course of a few weeks, it will send them content that's relevant to that particular type. So you'll notice under leads, it would be a different campaign than what I would have in a warm market campaign. And so these campaigns will essentially self-propagate in their emails, and that individual will get those over the course of a certain amount of time, which is why when you go to my activities, you can see that I've opened a campaign message multiple times throughout my history as a contact here on LivePure Pro. The other really cool thing that's powerful, and that really no other communication system or marketing tool system out there can do, is it auto feeds from your downline and from your genealogy, from your binary genealogy. So you have over here on the left, you'll see IBO, system feed, member system feed, and customer system feed, excuse me. So what that literally means is as you begin to grow your tree, your genealogy tree, you will literally get new contacts in there. So you can communicate with people in your downline right here. You can send them you can send them content or new information that you want to share with them. And it all automatically generates that content, automatically generates that user in these folders. And again, these folders can be edited if you feel that there's a different type of method that would work better for you. So let's go ahead and move on to email marketing. And that's kind of where we are right now. And it's in terms of where we're at in LivePure Pro. Let's go ahead and go to send an email. And I want to show you this one-touch email. It really is quite simple. So I have a blank email set up. I want to send it to, let's say, just sample mail at livepure.com. I can choose a pre-scripted, out of the ones that we've designed for you, I can choose a pre-scripted header. But it's really as simple as choosing from a template. So let's say I want to send something about Matcha. Matcha is one of my favorite products personally. And you'll notice that it auto creates a mobile-friendly, mobile selective environment for you. And you can begin to type and propagate this email however you'd like. The other cool thing that we have, I'll just go over briefly, is there's these tools down here where you can insert quick links. So I can just insert recipient's first name and last name, and then I could type a message like, I wanted you, check this out. Obviously, that's very simple, but my point is it will send this recipient first and last name to as many potential contacts as you'd want, or as many potential contacts as you have in your list. So you could have a whole message typed out that you wanted to, and then you could save that email within LivePure Pro and then send out that email multiple times to a stream of people. So it automates the process of having to send out emails. You can store a lot of the email content here on LivePure Pro. And if you're a team leader and you have members in your team, you can begin to share emails that work well for you. You can share them with other people on your team. And if you have someone else on your team that has assets or resources that have worked really well for them, they can do the same with you. So the great part about that is the more valuable content you create here on LivePure Pro from a communications and a marketing standpoint, the more successful your team will be in totality. So once you've done that, once you finish up the email, you can preview the way it will look on a screen. Obviously, it's really short, and I have a sample name here, Solid Prospect, and then whatever your message was. But this is mobile friendly. It's going to adjust to the size of the screen on whatever particular platform your individual is viewing on. So really easy to use. Very powerful too from a communication standpoint. Let's go ahead and move on to social marketing. Like I said earlier, LivePure Pro has, I would say, every component of LivePure Pro is social marketing enabled. What that means is everything you want to share can be easily shared and bundled on social media. So for instance, let's go ahead and go to our marketing tab at the top here. And I'm going to go to my Smart Sender just briefly. And let's say I want to send something about this calcium K+. It's literally as simple as I can share straight to these four, or I can generate a link, and this link can be copied and pasted into a Facebook post, Instagram post, Reddit, wherever you want to share this content. You can share the specific link, and it will send them a video link that they can then utilize to be funneled straight into your duplicated website here on LivePure Pro, which is also connected to your duplicated shop website. So if someone visits your marketing website on LivePure Pro and they want to shop under your products, they will then translate to our duplicated shop website on livepure.com, which is a very powerful aspect as well. So you can do that on any one of these Smart Center tools. The other really cool thing is, I'm going to briefly go over this. We have duplicated websites. So if we go to advertise your website here, let's see if I can minimize this. You'll notice that all of our pages over here on the left, our home, our opportunity, products, about me, and then we have a specific custom page that we designed for this sample. They're all smart enabled, social enabled, which means I can just click this Facebook icon and it will bring up a pre-propagated header, and I can type in a link, or I could type in some copy. I wanted to share this opportunity with you. And I could post straight to my Facebook. So that's been posted to my personal Facebook. And you can do that across the board with any one of the items here on your page, on your website, on your duplicated website. You can also, if you are a more advanced user, you can also track ad links and SEO and ad tracking through Google AdWords. So definitely an opportunity to expand on your social promotions there. We did go over number 4, which was the lead activity tracker. Going back to it just briefly, essentially because you can track where your prospect is along the timeline, you're able to then hopefully either send them very intentional content that will then take them to that next level, or you can at least help them or help guide them through that aspect that would then say, hey, yeah, I really want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of the opportunity. I'd love to buy some products. How can I get involved? Lastly, we're going to talk about video marketing, and I think Preston will have a lot of light to shed on this, like I said, in a little bit. So I'm just going to briefly go over it. But essentially, what we can do under video marketing is we can go to Video Creator. We can take the same content, like I said, we can share it, and that's another great example of just being mobile or being social friendly. We can share this video content right here. I can show advanced options, so I can have a redirect link, but we can share it to any one of these portals here. But the powerful thing about a Video Creator and the Video Burner, which is the component here in LiftPure Pro, is that you're able to record webinars. You're able to record either video or audio webinars, and then you can then save those here on LiftPure Pro, share them with your team on LiftPure Pro, and then share those on social media with intentions to repeat every month. So you might say, hey, we have a scheduled webinar once or twice a month. It's really the same video, but it allows you to prospect by using educational components. Maybe you have you have a friend, industry expert, or you have someone that you know is a leader at Pure, and you want them to talk on your webinar. It's an opportunity for you to save that resource here on the Video Burner on LiftPure Pro, and then share that video over and over again as a duplicated seminar on a regular basis, which would hopefully become a sales funnel for you as an educational opportunity. So just briefly, like I said, I wanted to go over a few of the things. Those were the 5 main things I wanted to talk about. But LiftPure Pro, we often don't talk about the fact that it's a powerful communication and marketing automation suite, which you can kind of see. As you begin to develop new content, you can use the same content, and because LiftPure Pro has a lot of smart links and pre-designed content, you can share that content in a more automated way, which over time allows you to send it to more people without having as much energy put in each time. But it is a lead generation tool as well. You do get a custom marketing website, which I briefly went over. So you have, a home page, a products page, an opportunities page. And anytime you have new prospects that are coming into those pages, they're going to, of course, be funneled into your duplicated website on liftpure.com if they decide to shop. We have, like I said, custom landing pages and squeeze pages, which are essentially just a brief forms to help attract leads. So essentially lead generation pages, which you can create. There is a SMS or text functionality to LiftPure Pro. So if you're a team leader in LiftPure Pro, you can send text updates, or you could send webinar updates to your team. Say, hey, come join my call at 7 p.m. like we have tonight. We could have sent, if you're a LiftPure Pro leader, you could have sent out a text to remind everyone on your team. You do get a conference line where you can have up to, I believe, 100 people on your conference line if you have just the Pro version. And then we have Warm Market List Importer, which is essentially just being able to import Excel files of lists if you have a list of contacts that you want to utilize on LiftPure Pro under the Contacts Manager. So I hope that sheds a lot of light in terms of the marketing automation and the communication aspect. Is there anything that Preston wants to add?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is that working?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. I think you touched on a lot of great topics there, Blaine. There's so much there. There's a lot in the advanced and the professional version. When you talk about the meeting burner, web conferencing tools, those are pretty powerful. And you touched a little bit on the video marketing. I'd only add to that. I think that's one of the when you get past the bread and butter contact manager, managing and communication center. When it comes to social selling, One thing that we've always taught is that you need to provide value to your social network before you begin to social sell. And so it's not always, just sharing the latest product that's on promotion or whatever. You have to provide value to your network. And one way a lot of people are doing that is by creating videos. And so if you can leverage this tool to create your videos and schedule those in a webinar format like you mentioned, the key there is when you schedule that webinar, you can toggle a button, and it will require anybody that wants to attend that webinar to sign in with their name and email address, which is pretty common. Well, that name and email automatically feeds into those folders that Blaine highlighted at the beginning. So anybody that joins your webinar, automatically you get their contact information, and you can set up each webinar to a different folder and have a different drip campaign. So all of your marketing automation just kind of happens, and then you just schedule that webinar on a monthly basis, or you have a series that they can subscribe to. And it's a great way to get leads and provide value back to your social network. So it kind of just completes the whole circle and really puts it on autopilot for you.
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions we asked, or do you have anything else you wanted me to cover, Blaine?
No, I mean, I think, those 5 main components, I think that when we talk about Live Pure Pro, we sometimes under talk about the communication and the marketing components of it, because it really has a lot of communication value and marketing automation value, which I hope people will get to see the value in doing so and having those tools available to them. But just so everybody's aware, like I said at the very beginning, do remember that we have an ongoing or regular updating our content for Live Pure Pro. So not only is the content being updated, but we have educational videos on Live Pure Pro that are being updated on a regular basis too. And if someone has, if they're new to Live Pure Pro, or if they're an advanced user and they want to talk about a more advanced feature, I would always encourage users to go to our YouTube channel and comment there, what they would like to hear more on, or something that would be a benefit from an additional tutorial on how to do certain things on Live Pure Pro.
No, I think that's great, Preston and Blaine. And one thing I just want to add to the group just before we go into Q&A is, Live Pure Pro and really just leveraging social media in general, it's a passive approach to really marketing our story, our products, our opportunity. It's something that, some people utilize very well, and it's definitely something that we see value in. A lot of times people say, well, how many hours a day would I invest in something like this? And I would tell you that this isn't necessarily, again, it's a passive approach. It's really more of a net that you're putting out there that really starts the conversation. It's just one more way to access and really drive people towards you and sharing information. One thing I would share, what I would say is, what do you do, right before you go to bed and first thing when you wake up in the morning? Most people, I think now, I saw a survey recently says, well, they're on social media. So if you're going to go on social media at 10, 11 o'clock at night before you go to sleep, it's not like you're picking up a phone and calling someone, but now you have the ability to really access people and to reach out to people. And same thing in the morning, first thing. These aren't the best hours to do a connect call, but these are the best hours, or that hour at night and that hour in the morning that you can really just put that message out there and really access that larger group on social media. But social selling is big. A lot of people have a lot of success with it. And if you can build it into all the things that you do on a daily basis to actively and passively engage your audience, it's got a lot of benefits. And what we've seen over the last several months is a big spike in the number of IBOs that have taken to Live Pure Pro. So for those of you out there that are on Live Pure Pro today, I want to thank you, and please continue to provide feedback for us on content and things that you'd like to see us do. And we will do our best to get that out there for you. And for those of you that are on this call this evening, and I know there are several that have not utilized Live Pure Pro, hopefully this gives you a sense as to the value of Live Pure Pro. and what could mean to your business. So at this point, what we wanted to do is open it up to Q&A, because you've got you've got our two experts on the line. You've got Preston and Blaine, who are experts on Live Pure Pro, the back and front end of it. So what we want to do now is open up for any questions.
Hey, Tony, this is Sean. Oh, you want us to raise our hand?
You're good, Sean.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to read on the side of I-70. That's not a good idea. So it appears that the previous meeting burner tool has been removed. Is there a new webinar capability that's going to be added? Did you guys hear me?
I wasn't aware that it was removed. Were you aware, Blaine? I mean, that's the first I've heard about it.
Yeah, I was not aware of that either. So I'd be curious to see if that was perhaps an issue with the software, or maybe would be just the changing in the accounts. I don't know if, Sean, have you changed accounts or anything like that in types of account levels or anything?
No, I'm at the whatever $50 a month.
Right, the Premier.
And it used to be, I believe, GoToWebinar. And around the first of the year, give or take a week, there was a message that came across the bottom of the back end of Live Pure Pro that suggested they were going to be migrating away from that version of it. And I don't know if it's something that the parent company is incorporating a new webinar tool, but I just wanted to make you aware of that, because the registration feature that you were speaking of, or Preston was, to my knowledge, is not functioning at this time. So that's just kind of a note. And then the second question or comment that I had was with regard to the asset library that you're talking about that feeds the smart sender. Do you guys anticipate adding some of the content that's actually embedded in the back office of Pure itself? Because you guys have some great content, PDF files, and Preston alluded to, not wanting to just deluge people with a sales pitch, but actually providing them value. And if we could use some of the branded content that you guys actually already have in the back office, and it's just populated to where we could send it out as like a smart pack, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of value in that, Sean, and thanks for bringing that up. So I think that's something we can do. We do try to think about things we can add that will add value in terms of resources on Live Pure Pro. And I think one of the things that we also try to do is create custom content for Live Pure Pro users only. So this is something that we've been thinking, how can we strategize, or how can we create content that will be of value that only is exclusive to Live Pure Pro users? And we go through iteration changes on, hey, let's add this grouping of content. And that's kind of what we're doing right now as we've gone through our rebranding and things like that. So it's a great point that you bring up. And I think that we want to tackle that. And there's, like you said, like you mentioned, a lot of value in having those educational resources available to you to share.
Awesome.
Yeah, great question.
And on your other question, we will definitely look into that, Sean, on the front end with the resources. So we'll check into that and get an answer back to the group, because that's something that's likely happening, that they are transitioning to another support tool, but we will verify that and get that out.
Thank you. I did have one other. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, Sean.
So my last question is regarding the personal page that you guys, or that Live Pure Pro provides, the personal website. Yes. Is there a way to provide direct forms within that to where people can provide their information actually in the website, as opposed to having them go through a landing page?
I can try and answer that. I don't believe there's a way to, I'll have to look. Primarily, you can customize the forms on all of the landing pages, and you can build your own form there and feed that into the contact manager. I'll have to look to see if you can provide on like the About Me page or what. There's not a lot of customization as far as what you can do on the actual pages themselves, but something definitely we can look at and follow up on to see what flexibility we have there. But I do know you have full control over creating the landing pages where you can then create and collect as many form fields as you want. But it is right now, I believe, primarily on the landing page. I don't know. Blaine, do you know if there's customizations within the individual pages themselves?
Not that I'm aware of from a contact form standpoint. So the CMS, or the content management system that is LivePure Pro, only has so many capabilities, and I think that a custom form is not one of them. So I'd like to look into that and see maybe what answers we can provide back to you, Sean.
Okay, thanks, Blaine. I'll tell you this. It's a phenomenal tool, so hope nobody mistakes my questions for frustration with the tool, because I'm blown away by the capabilities and the continuous effort by corporate to grow it and keep it relevant. You guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, Blaine oversees that end of it, and I know that on a weekly and monthly basis, we have plans to, over the next several months, really add more value and content. So expect to see more soon. Any other questions out there? Great question, Sean. Any other questions out there? Anyone else have questions for the team?
Yeah, go for it. I saw someone raise their hand.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm actually a general manager of a privately owned gym in Texas. I'm a new IBO, and I have hundreds of members that I personally talk to each day. I just wanted to know maybe an opinion on perhaps a good way to share this opportunity with members, because we don't have a nutritional side to this gym. It's just strictly a training and general gym. So we don't have anything nutritional, but the products from what I've seen this past week, because I just wanted to try it myself before I started giving it to my training members. Would you guys happen to know maybe the best possible way to share this with members without, because I know a lot of people have never heard of this company before, but I know the products are really good, and I've heard a lot of testimonies in the past month of the people that were trying to get me on because they saw the platform that I have in my town. And I just wanted to know maybe if you guys can give me just a pointer, I would say, on how to maybe share this with all the members that I have at this gym.
Are you looking for a pointer in terms of products or how to utilize LivePure Pro?
I would say for the most part, I think a lot more people would be interested on the product aspect itself. And I don't know all of the ingredients that are into it, that are in most of them. I just know that I've been using it for the past week, and they've really made a change. I mean, I'm a professional athlete. I do professional runs around the country. And, so people really take what I say to heart, but I've never, I don't know the stuff in these products. So I would say if I'm just sharing the product aspect of the company, because I think as people get into the products, they would see more about the business aspect, and possibly more people would be interested in that as well. But just as a beginning, just get introducing the products as a whole.
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, I have a great answer for you. So Preston's team has done an incredible job at developing our mobile app. And if you're now an IBO, you have access to what's called Smart Links. And these Smart Links are essentially product-based. When you go into our app, you'll see all the Smart Links based on products. And you can share that with new members. It will then send them to our shop under your name, and it will allow them to read about the products. They can read about what's in the products, what the product's functionality is, things like that. But the reason I do mention the mobile app, our mobile app, it's just so simple, and it literally is almost like 3 clicks. You go to My Links, and then you can share those, and it is really easy. So if you're wanting to share that with a lot of people at once, you can just say, hey, what's your number or what's your email, and then just click a link into products that they might be interested in. Hey, I just wanted to share this product with you. Thought you might have interest. Super simple. His team does a great job at building out new functionality on the app, and I would highly recommend using that to share products.
Yeah, the only thing I would add, Joey, is that you know, from a gym, we've had some actual great success stories with individuals, owners of gym in the Northeast. We've got some new owners of some gyms, and you know, they're obviously displaying the products in their gyms and making it a part of the conversation. So when you come up to the counters, they're going to see our products behind them. You are right, Joey. We are the biggest secret in health and wellness. What you're going to find, though, as a new IBO is very quickly just the amazing power of our products and really just the incredible opportunity. We've had so many great success stories on the product side and so many success stories with the opportunity, and they just keep growing. GPS line is obviously a great line to really focus in on. We have videos on YouTube that you can leverage as well. But I agree with Blaine. You know, one of the easiest things you could do is send those links on the individual products with anyone that you're working with, that you have their cell phone. Probably one of the easiest ways to get information out quickly and to start assess, who's, coming back to them with who's watching it and going from there. But last but not least, Joey, welcome to Pure. We're just happy to have you as a part of Pure and excited about the opportunity you have in front of you. So congrats.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, anyone else have any other questions for us? We've got Preston and we've got Blaine on here. Any questions on Live Pure Pro or any other questions on the business? Anyone else? Okay, guys. All right, looks like we're going to wrap here at this point. I want to just take a moment and thank Blaine and Preston for being on the call. Thank you, guys. Thank you for walking us through this. For those of you that have individuals that you want to share this with, we are recording this, so this will be out there soon so that you'll be able to access it and watch the recording. Going back to what Sean shared earlier, Live Pure Pro can be an incredible tool for your tool belt. So it's not the only tool, but it's just one of the tools we provide at Pure that we're really proud of and that we hope you guys can see an opportunity with as you move your business forward. So with that, I just want to thank all of you out there for taking the time out of your schedules to be with us this evening. Thank you for everything you're doing. February is turning into an incredible month for Pure. We just came off a record month in January, not only in sales and recruiting and in rank advancements. So some incredible things going on in the U.S. business. And you guys are a part of that. You're creating that momentum. You're creating that opportunity. You're sharing with everyone you're coming into contact with, and it's making a difference. So thank you for making us more of a name in health and wellness. So we appreciate you getting us out there. And it looks like February is going to be a great month as well. So I wish you guys all the best. Have a Pure night.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, everyone.